Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here again with my brother Tim, and we are the Yinzer Bros. Tonight, we may have a special guest with us, Mark. He's one of the biggest Yinzer Bros fans that we have.
The mush.
Hopefully, the
The
mush.
mush.
Hopefully,
The
he'll be with
mush.
us at some point. I think it'll be good. Hopefully, we get him in here. I
If
look
if if
forward.
not if not, he loaded us with a plethora of
Oh, did he?
bear garbage.
Good,
So we're good.
good. Well, so he's a tried and true Bear fan, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, I still think he sold his soul to the devil for that Cub World Series. So that's how his nickname kind of went. The mush. Ever since that, I mean, the Chicago teams have just been all of them just stunk.
So, how often does he talk about the '86 Bears?
That's all. I mean, TJ. First of all, it's the '85 Bears.
Oh, that's right, '85. That's right, it's '85.
That's TJ. That's all I have to live on out here is the '85 Bears. Are you kidding
That's
me?
true. That's true.
I mean, and I always bring it up. I was like, it sucks that a Western Pennsylvania blood had to save the city of Chicago.
That's true.
It
You're
sucks.
right. But it just
Yeah.
happens. Now, does Sid Luckman still hold all their big passing stats?
I believe he does.
Sid Luckman. Think about that, Tim.
He's like from the
Sid.
1920s.
He is Sid Luckman. I think he was. Did they even have the forward pass back then?
I didn't.
Sid
I
Luckman.
don't. I'm thinking they were like rugby passing during those days.
I think you're right. Underhand, I don't know, but hopefully we get to have him on a little bit later. I
Yeah.
look forward to getting some fresh input from an intelligent source. So I hope Mark's with us.
Oh yeah, he's a lot. He's way smarter than me. I'm a complete mushhead.
Oh, that's good. Now, just so you guys, if you're listening and you're not watching, Tim is donning the Franco's Italian Army hard hat because once again the Steelers were victorious. They beat the rival Cleveland Browns. You're
Can you see?
drinking.
Can you see
He's
that?
drinking Browns tears, a cup labeled Browns tears, and that's true. We beat the Browns 15-10. It was a must-win game for the Steelers in the win over the Browns, and I think it was a defining game for the Browns. Tim, what did you think of the game overall? What were some of your thoughts about this mighty game?
Do you want my recap?
Yeah, tell me what you thought. What did you think of the Cleveland Steeler game?
Corvette. Same Browns. Browns gonna be the Browns. Corvette. Browns gonna be the Browns. Corvette. That's what I think of the Browns.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
TJ, do you realize what we did to them? They're imploding from the inside out. Their Super Bowl was last year. They beat us in the playoffs. Guess what? Browns are gonna be the Browns. They're the same old Browns.
That's true. They are. So what do you think? From a Browns perspective, what do you think they do with Baker?
I would just pack up the whole franchise and move it to St. Louis. That's what I would do. Those people don't need a football team up there.
Well, I was a little bummed out. I'll be honest with you. I thought
TJ,
they were a little arrogant.
give Baker all the bag. Give him everything. Give him all the monies. Give him all of them. All of it. All of it. I would even. I think I got $20 in my wallet. I will give them $20. Go ahead. Give it to Baker.
Baker Mayfield. Hey, did you hear what's coming out too? Did they get rid of Odell Beckham yet, or is he going to be on the chopping block?
He will be released. They're saying Monday.
So where do you think he'll go?
I don't know. I mean, my guess he's going to go out. Probably out. I don't know. Probably Tampa. That's my guess. I don't know where everybody else goes.
You're probably right. Probably about Tampa. That's probably right.
It would be hilarious. I don't want him with the Steelers, but it would be absolutely hysterical if he somehow joins the Steelers and he just carves up everybody the rest of the year.
That would be funny. He hasn't been good in a while, man. He had his years with the Giants, but did he do anything with Cleveland really?
TJ, dude, he had like me and you throwing him the ball. Come on. I hate to say it. Like, I watched some of the videos. He's wide open like 90% of it. Baker stinks. He is bad at football, man.
He is. He's very bad at football. Who would have thought that for all those years you would beg for Eli?
The sad part is Baker's bad at football, and I don't think he played that bad against the Steelers.
Yeah, that's true. He wasn't bad. So let's talk about the game real quick. What do you think? Obviously the number one thing the Steelers had to do was stop the number one rushing attack in football, and they did.
Hmm. Hmm.
They kept them to under 100 yards.
I didn't understand Cleveland's game plan. They came out and they was like chucking the ball around. I'm going, dude, what are you doing? We got guys like Louderface and Buggy Bugs and Madou in the middle. I'm going,
They're pretty bad. Yeah, they're pretty bad.
what are you doing? I would have ran the ball a million times.
Yeah.
A
Well,
million
it's
times.
funny. And when they started running the ball too, it wasn't like they didn't have some success. They did have success, and they got away from it.
I didn't understand it, but I'm going to drink the Browns' tears.
That's true. So when you think of the game too, I mean, obviously we shut down the run. We kept everything close.
Mhm.
The Steelers were playing lights out. Now, obviously, and I say that as a
I like
precursor
that. I
to
like that.
where we're going. There was one specific call in the game that some people were a little upset about. That was the
TJ,
fake field goal.
it was the dumbest. TJ, that may there's three calls that come in my mind that were dumber in NFL history. That one fake that the Colts had, where like all the line was like everybody else, and it was just the punter, and they ran a sneak, and the guy got obliterated by 47. Like the defense had 47 people on the field.
Yeah,
That
yeah, that
play
was
was
bad.
dumber. That play was dumber than that call, but it wasn't very far behind. Like to me, I would have understood it, and maybe if you're not getting the ball at halftime, but you're getting the ball at halftime, you are just shoving it in Cleveland's face. You can go up 6-3 going into the half and get the
Yes,
ball at halftime.
yeah,
TJ, was a dumb call.
it was. No, I
It
agree.
was a dumb call.
Yeah. Well, in that game too, points are hard to come by. So you get the points. You trust your defense that's playing lights out. They're doing well. I don't understand it.
Let me ask you in your opinion. Say the Browns do win that game and they
Hmm.
happen to win it by field goal. Does that even remotely get Tomlin's seat just a little hot if they go and tank it the rest of the year?
No, I don't. I don't think so. I mean, it's up to the Roonies. Do you think the Roonies would get rid of him?
TJ,
I
that right there could be that could have been a season
a season
crushing.
defining thing. It could have been, yeah. But thank goodness it wasn't. I still think there's too much upside with Tomlin. I mean, when you look in the NFL right now, how many coaches would you rank above him? They're just. I think it's a handful.
TJ, I agree, but that call was just I
It
couldn't
was. It was bananas.
believe it.
It was bananas.
I thought I was in the episode, like I thought I was watching the Jets. I go, what the hell is happening? I was like, what? I'm like, did they just did something just break into my game that I just didn't even know like what was going
It was
on?
it was crazy. No, that was a crazy call. But hey, the defense was sound.
Mhm.
I mean, let's talk a little bit about who are some of the players that jumped out off the screen to you during the game.
You're talking defensively or offensively?
Either
Doesn't
way,
matter.
either way. Let's look at offense first. Who were some of the offensive guys that you saw?
I mean, Najee is
Naj
Najee.
solid. Well, saw he's the offensive player of the month for the AFC.
Rookie, offensive rookie player of the
Oh,
month.
rookie, yeah, rookie for the month,
So
which
yeah, I
is
mean,
great.
I think they gave it to Derrick Henry, who is the offensive player of the month. I mean, I don't know. Every time he was touching balls, getting like 300 yards a game. So
Yeah, but he's done.
I know,
Now
I
they
know
said he could come back. They said now they're thinking maybe 8 weeks.
that dude's coming back. Dude,
Yeah,
do you realize? Do you realize he hurt his foot like in the? I think it was in the first quarter, second quarter. He had 28 carries on a broken foot.
that's nuts. That's just
TJ,
crazy.
and I think he had like close to like 150 yards rushing. That's
Yeah, he's a
insane.
man. He's a man. He's a man.
I thought Najee. I mean, Firemouth, dude, the guy's hands are like Velcro.
Was this his coming out game? Do you think this was? Let me start to put the league on notice for what he can do.
I don't know because he had more yards the previous game. I think he had like 70 against Seattle. Did they play beforehand? He only had 40, but that touchdown catch was
It
crazy.
was ridiculous. It
But
was ridiculous.
I don't think it was. I think I think the Seattle game was more of his outcoming game. I think it was. What's the other tight? Is it what was the other tight end? The big guy that did played. Is it? It's not Radar. Is it Radar? Who's the guy? They always make
Yeah,
fun of
yeah, yeah.
the big huge
You
guy.
you have Raider and you also have Gentry.
Gentry. Gentry's the one
Yeah,
that's like 6'10".
yeah.
I
He's
always thought
huge.
it, I
He's
always thought he
huge.
was like 6'10", like 180 pounds. He's like 6'10", like 290 now.
No, oh, he's massive.
Like they must have had him like on an oats and in
I
steak
saw him.
diet.
I was three rows from that man. I saw him standing next to Ben. He made Ben and those guys look like peanuts.
Well, it said a lot to me when they didn't activate Banner and they had that dude up. it showed me a lot. Going, well, maybe this. It kind of reminds me that Heath Matt Spaeth type of thing they had back
Mhm.
in the day.
Yeah.
Truthfully, so do I think it was an outcome? I think Firemouth is going to be a massive thing the rest of the year. Do I think it's his outgoing party? No, I think he's going to have. I think we have. I think the Seattle game was kind of a hint. This is kind of he's going to have a game that's going to put the league on notice. Go, okay, oh crap, especially if the line continues to block like it does and they give Ben time.
Oh
Dude
yeah.
doesn't drop. Dude doesn't drop anything. It's
No,
insane.
he doesn't. He's a nightmare. And so, what do you think was going through Ebron's head when he saw all this stuff kind of happening right before his eyes?
I don't know. He better be dipping his hand in glue. I don't know what he was doing.
I was kind of surprised that they didn't trade him at the trade
But with
deadline.
TJ, who's going to take him?
Yeah.
What are you going to get? Uh, Somebody'd have to give you a bag of peanuts for
True,
that
Ron.
dude.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, do I? I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm praying to God he just doesn't have a out of body soul sucking drop from me some point in this season where I'm like that's the one right there. That's it. That's gonna
He's
just
actually he's actually caught the ball pretty well this year.
again. I think it's somebody else crawling into his uniform playing for him when he's
He might be. So who was your defensive guy that stood out to you?
the defensive. I mean, TJ Watt's a monster, dude. I think what do you have,
He's
and so does Cam. Cam and TJ Watt are like they just jump off the screen.
they're
Um,
monsters.
I thought everybody played pretty well. I,
You
you
know,
know,
you know, had a good quiet game, but I thought it was the best game he's had as a Steeler was Schobert. He was
yeah,
flying all over the place. He looked really
yeah.
good.
I mean, I think Cam Hayward's. I don't. He's on block. He's like getting better as he gets older. He's like Benjamin Buttons. I don't know what's going on, man.
Can you imagine if we get to it back? That's a fierce, fierce combo.
I thought TJ when I during the trade deadline, like you were seeing some. I saw the thing with Hargrove, like the eyes emoji. I'm going, if this dude comes back to the Steelers, holy snikes! And then I heard Fletcher Cox, which I'm like, I don't care who it is, as long as it's a large man you could put that's not Bugs, Badeau, or Louderface. I don't want any of those dudes. Louderface didn't play that bad,
He
but I
held
think
his
his
water. Yeah, he held
but I
his
think
water.
like what you comparing it to. When you compare poop to poop, you're going to get a little bit better poop.
But I mean, let's be real though. Cleveland. I mean, they shut down the rushing attack.
I agree. They did, and like I said, I was just stunned. Cleveland threw the ball as much as they did.
I just
Stunned.
you so that's coaching again. I mean, that's just coaching. It's weird.
Hmm
I don't know. I know
Tom,
this. It was
but if you want to be technical though, I know Sherbert supposedly got he got the credit for that fumble on Landry.
Mhm.
I
You know
think
who
it
that
was
was? It was
Taco. I think
Taco.
it was Taco.
I think it was Taco. So I'll tell you what. I mean, maybe the Steelers have a little bit more of an inkling and they know what they're doing because if they can find I mean, Taco's a man. Have you seen his specs? He's six
He's
six
a
two
big dude.
seventy.
He reminds me like you remember Alden Smith looking
Yeah.
wise, his body type. It's what
Oh
kind
yeah.
of reminds me of because he doesn't look like he's 260, 270. He
No,
looks
he
like
looks very
he looks
lean.
he looks thinner than TJ Watt or Highsmith,
Yeah.
but he's as big as those dudes.
He's got like that thinness, like that Von Miller kind of
Yeah, you're right.
wiry
You're
kind
right.
of a thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I tell you what, if they can hit, so I don't know if you know this or not. Do you know that if Dallas wouldn't have, they grabbed him, we grabbed T.J. Watt, but really they were targeting Taco.
I know. I
In fact,
mean
I believe if
that
memory
just
serves me
te-
right, I think Tomlin, I think they took him out to dinner before the
that
draft.
that just tells you Jesus is a Steeler fan.
It is. He is. We got the best end of the deal. But who
Exactly.
knows? So I mean, let's say it's a great victory for us.
Yeah.
We see some guys. We are starting to stack wins. Now we're third in the division.
That
Only
line's
guy
played
those
well, TJ.
they are. I'll tell you right now. I don't think Banner's going to see the field unless he's been Mr. Potential. He hasn't
Mhm.
done anything since we picked him up. Why would you mess with that line now?
People were complaining about Dan Moore because Garrett had. Let's be true. Garrett had one sack and a couple tackles, and Garrett's all world for a rookie left tackle a rookie tackle to do that. I'm okay with. I
Yes,
thought he played pretty well. Like I
he
said, I
did.
think the line it seems like each week is getting better. And again, I think Ben made this statement. I think I made a statement at the beginning of the year. I think it's going to be one of those things where they're going to struggle early, and as later as the year goes on, they're going to get better and better, and come hopefully December and January when they got to run the ball, that line is going to be moving people.
They will be. I hope at that point they have another number two that's decent to spell nausea. I hope we don't run the wheels off him.
Oh, McFarland, I'm thinking I was expecting so much when he got touched the ball. TJ was the same crap. Fall down, fall down. I'm
He
going.
doesn't have good. You're right. He goes down way too easy.
His vision
Over
is
grass.
his vision stinks. Like
It
there's
does.
holes there, and he just kept trying to bounce. I'm going. Stop doing the whole bounce into the outside. Just
Yeah.
take what the defense gives you and just go.
This isn't college. You're not going to outrun anybody.
TJ, they have to do something because you can't. I mean, Harris is. You can't. He's gonna die by January.
You won't. You will. I don't know. We'll see. So now, we're third to division, and let's just be
Mhm.
real. Since he losing to the Jets,
How was that possible?
but I mean, the Jets put up a bunch of points, yesterday. So I mean,
TJ,
it's weird.
The Jets
I get it.
stink.
I get it. So I think it tells you, I think there's some bandwidth in our division.
Mhm.
I don't know. We look pretty good. It's a great win for the Steelers.
Mhm.
We have Monday coming up against the Bears. Before we talk about that, let's take a peek into the Yinzer mailbag and see what we got in there. I know that Mark, he may not be able to be with us tonight, but he's always with us in
Oh
the Yinzer
yes.
mailbag. So what is the Yinzer mailbag, you ask? It's when you, the fan, get to ask us anything. We get to drop our immense amount of knowledge on you to answer any question. Tim, what do we got in the Yinzer mailbag tonight?
So Mark came up with a couple questions here. Let's start with another one first before we get into this is a hot topic. Ingram. What do we think of the thoughts on the Ingram trade?
You gotta love Mike Tomlin. I love the whole hostages line.
Yeah.
Some of his one-liners is great. And again, I think Ingram could help us,
Hmm.
but you can't be a turd like that. I mean, Highsmith steps in for him the game
Yeah.
before. He's got 2 sacks. He looks like he's all world. His whole thing is, well, I'm better than Alex Highsmith. I don't think he was led to anything. I think he just thought he was better than Highsmith. I wish they would have got more than a 6th-round pick for him, but it is what it is. I mean, what are your thoughts?
But that tells you what was the market for him.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
obviously pulled the trigger on the best deal, and they didn't want to trade Kansas City to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. What were you going to do? You can't keep him on the roster all year miserable because he's going to be a cancer in the locker room.
Yeah.
It's funny. I heard dubba talk about blah, blah, blah. A lot of people think that they overrate themselves. Do I think he's bad? No, I think he's good. Do I think he may come back and haunt us? I have visions of that because I have visions of everything being awful for the Steelers at some point. But what are you going to do, dude? I mean, there's not. If he doesn't want to be here, doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
And
who knows? I mean, the Steelers, they had to plan through this. They go get Taco.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of, we have a little bit of depth on that side. I'll tell you what, I think Taco played like 9 or 10 snaps,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he did very well in his 9 or 10 snaps. You need somebody to spell the big guys. As long as Highsmith and and all world Watt stays healthy, we're okay. Here's a plus with Highsmith too. He's young, so you're hoping. He's like a puppy. I think they did what they could do. It is what it is. It's sad. I wish they could get along.
Did I tell you, man? The joy it got me just in my heart seeing all the sad faces in the Browns crowd when they were just when they lost.
Well, here's my challenge.
TJ, the candy tasted sweeter on Sunday. I went out trick or treating. I carried my daughter around. We dressed up. We had fun. We high fived.
It was a good. It's a good Sunday.
I let people open mouth cough on me. I didn't care. It was great.
Well, you know what? Let's just be real. Cleveland hasn't earned it yet, but they acted like they earned it. You go in there, they're all cocky. Everybody's doing their stuff.
That fan base is the filth. They're filth. They're poop. I know you got family that are Cleveland fans. TJ, I'm sorry. Seeing some of the images from that stadium were some of the most classless. I mean, I've seen some classless crap out of Steeler Stadium. Like I saw somebody actually getting attacked by a grilling fork after we lost an AFC title game in New England, leaving the stadium. And the kid was like 13 attacking a grown man. I saw this. But some of the images I was seeing coming out of Cleveland.
It's sad.
Unreal. They had a piñata I thought it was kind of funny. He had a pinata of Mason's head, and they had a lady blindfolded trying to hit it with a helmet. That was, to me, I thought that was pretty clever. It was pretty
That is
funny. But I'm
pretty
like, there's other stuff that I saw that was like, they were so vulgar. Like, I can't believe it. I'm like, you people are losers.
They are. They are.
All
I
right,
agree.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry. I had to. It just. I keep picturing images of
I get it.
sad faces all over that stadium, and I just the one picture I saw of Claypool where he says no bark, no bite or whatever, and the whole dog pound is giving him the middle finger. The greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That is awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still living the high from last week with that. Sorry, bunch of Browns. All right, Mush. I don't even want to do this because this is Bear Week. For me, it's not huge out here, so it's like if the Steelers lose, which has happened the past, I don't know, 3 times they've played the Bears,
Yeah.
miraculously, I'm going to be in a living hell for about probably 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And something screams Tomlin game to this whole entire situation to me.
Now, Tim, you can't pull the Tomlin game card every week. Every week you say it's a Tomlin game.
TJ, timeout. I picked the Steelers to win every week. I thought the Cincinnati game was definitely the Tomlin game until I figured out Cincinnati's actually half decent.
Cincinnati's good.
So I had to switch it. The Tomlin game's coming, TJ. This is screaming Tomlin game.
The Bears are pretty bad, and they're banged up.
TJ, one of these 2 games, Bears or Lions, are screaming Tomlin game. I'm telling you, it's screaming. Since this is big for me, Mark kind of went in. He said, "Hey, the Mush goes best couple positions. You know, Bears have had great players. So has the Steelers. Hat on hat. Let's go. You know, best Steeler Bear comparison. Some positions of all time, in your opinion. Go Steelers. Go Bears. Running back.
Are you talking like running back? Well, you got to go Peyton.
Of course.
Obviously Walter Payton, and you got to go. I would say, as of now, I still think Franco is still the best back we've ever had. I mean, Bettis is.
No.
You think Bettis is better than Franco?
No.
Who's the best Steeler back we've ever had?
Najee Harris put a gold jacket on already. He's already better than everybody.
Yeah, and then you think linebackers. I mean, when you think linebackers, who's the greatest linebacker?
That's a tough call, man. I mean, they did have Buckets. Buckets was pretty.
Oh yeah. And who could forget Singletary in the eyes? Remember the eyes?
That's true. So
but
you got
the Steelers. The Steelers are known for linebackers. You got Lambert. You got these guys that are just animals.
So the Bears. You got Urlacher. Urlacher was pretty good too.
He was.
So, I mean,
to me, and I like that picture behind you, Tim. It's a mighty picture of Ben of the bus putting Urlacher in his place.
I like to call that baptizing Brian Urlacher.
I like that.
I think after that's when Brian Urlacher started thinking about putting some hair on his head. That's what it was. Actually, that picture right there, I think this was the game where it started the march to the Super Bowl in 2005.
It was.
I think it was this exact game. They needed this game. I think they were 7-5, and this started their run.
Yeah.
I think, and believe it or not, TJ, I think it's the last time they beat the Bears.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Well, let's hope we have another victory.
I have seen 2 losses out here in this stadium in Chicago. Not been fun. I think they lost in Pittsburgh last time. Not been fun, brother, for me.
I think we're going to be okay. I mean, some of the other positions, quarterback, there's no position. I mean, there's no.
TJ, Sid Luckman.
It's crazy. Like wide receivers.
Cordell Stewart and Mike Tomczak are better than any Bear.
They are.
Bear quarterback ever.
We got Tomczak from the Bears.
I know, man. Bad.
And it was. I mean, he was terrible with them. But
you know when I started thinking about the Tomlin game for this week is when we got Anthony Miller off the waivers and he was drafted by the Bear. That's when it started kicking in my head. I'm looking ahead and going, Steelers shouldn't be picking up Bears. Bears should be picking up old Steelers.
Well, and they did that for a long time. Because remember they picked up Bubby Brister. He was awful. Remember Tim Worley? He was terrible.
Cordell too. Cordell was a Bear.
Just terrible. They basically get our used underwear. They get our used underwear.
I know, man. Which is
we don't even wash it when we send it over there. We just send it over there right off the tuchus. We don't even wash it.
You are absolutely correct.
They don't even wash
Boy,
it, dude.
TJ, they lost some bad Bear quarterbacks. Good God, I saw Mike Glennon beat the Steelers in Chicago.
That's bad.
It was a bad day. Okay. Question. So this is going to be real bad. Chance to be a real bad Monday night game. Not as bad as the Jets in Houston.
True.
Who do you think is going to give up more plays? Artie Burns or Terrell Edmonds? Artie Burns.
Artie Burns is bad.
Bad. If he's playing for the Bear,
he's bad.
He's bad.
Dude, the
He's
Bears
bad.
are beat up. The Bears,
I
they're
know.
the
I
walking
know they
wounded.
are. I've been seeing their. The only guy I'm really concerned about is Mac. If he doesn't play,
He's not
have
playing. He
fun.
didn't practice again today.
I know, but they got another
No,
day of
we're
practice.
not talking limited. We're talking did not
I know.
DNP did not
If
practice.
if I don't see him tomorrow, I'll be a little bit more happier.
Yeah.
Okay, how many throws has Ben got? How many throws does Ben have for the Bear game? Do you think over under
I'm gonna,
35?
I'm going to say this. I think that the Steelers. I think Najee cracks 100 this game
Mm-hmm.
because I think part of the goal was to keep Fields off the field.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say Ben is going to be under. I think he's going to be between 25 and 30 throws this game.
It'd get me nervous seeing him on the injury report with the shoulder.
He's on the injury report every week.
I know, but it did. I know, but it got
Are
me
you
nervous.
talking about Ben?
He was on the injury. It's
He's
usually
got a hip flexor, a shoulder.
The shoulder
Ben
was new.
loves that. He
Shoulder
loves
was
that.
new. But I figure they are wearing color rush on Monday. So
he's got the pec issue. He's got the pec issue.
A hurt Ben with a hurt shoulder should equal domination.
It should be. I think we got no problem with that.
All right, we going. How many Steeler sacks do you think is going to be on Mr. Fields Monday night?
Now he is mobile. He is. I mean, he had over 100 yards rushing in their last game. Lost to I think it was San Francisco, right?
Yeah, but they didn't have the Cabbage Patch coaching. He's back coaching.
That's true.
TJ, there's some bad coaches in the league. I've watched my fair share of Bear games since this clown's been the coach. This dude stinks.
He does stink.
He may be the worst coach in the league.
He might be. I'm going to say this. I think the Bears. I think the Steelers' line's been great. I think they've been great. Play action pass. I think Ben goes down once.
What about how many sacks do you think the Steelers will have on Fields?
I think Fields goes down. I think he has a tendency to have happy feet. He can make very poor decisions, which I love. I think he goes down 4 times.
I'm going to make this statement. I don't know if Fields is going to make it through this game.
You know what? I think that's great.
I mean, it's not great. I mean, I don't wish anything upon anybody. I just don't think
guess what?
The game,
we're getting pinged by our friend Mark. I'm going to see if I can bring him in.
This is either going to kill the whole entire thing or it's going to bring him in.
It could. I don't know. Mark, are you with us? Can you hear us, Mark? Are you there? We're learning the technology.
Oh, my gosh.
There he is, Mark. How you doing, Mark? Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's a mighty outfit there, Mark. I like that. That's great. Holy cow. He's in full Bale regalia.
There we go.
Welcome to the podcast. Look at that. That's a great. You got sweetness back there. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
This makes me.
We were just discussing the greatest Bear. Who is the greatest Bear quarterback of all time?
So statistically, it's of course Jay Cutler.
I thought it was Sid Luckman. What about Luckman?
So no, Hearts and Minds. It's Sid Luckman. 1939 to 1950. You have to go that far. You have to go that far back.
Were they able to pass? Would they have the forward pass in 1930? Or were they just rugby passing?
They did the T formation, Tim.
Yes.
You ran that at Gateway, didn't you?
They did. We're wing T offense at Gateway.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, Tim, I love your background. I knew you would. I knew you would pick the play where the bus ran over Urlacher.
We call this the baptism. That was the baptism.
I believe that was a Thanksgiving weekend game.
It was.
It was Steelers' last Super Bowl run. I believe the Steelers were maybe not even 500 or maybe just 500.
7-5.
7-5 went on a 5-game run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did.
Swept through the playoffs, and that was probably one of their greatest seasons. And of course, the bus capped it off with a Super Bowl win at home in Detroit, right?
He did. Detroit, the beautiful city of Detroit.
Oh,
so let me ask the Yinzer brothers. Would the bus be the greatest Notre Dame Pittsburgh Steeler? Just asking.
Now, when you frame it with Notre Dame,
I got in trouble last time I made fun of a Notre Dame running back. So Well,
hey, you dissed the guy that got shot for us for our freedom in Vietnam. You dissed him.
That's true.
I just think the story's overrated.
All right, double down, Tim.
Hey,
double down.
I got enough of hate.
Well, we should just, I know we got a lot to talk about, but we got to get rid of all, I assume you guys did the coverage of the Browns game. That was probably what, 3 minutes of your podcast
of glory. 3 minutes of glory.
Mark,
I just want to let you know,
I was finishing Browns tears. That's all I was finishing.
You got a Baker Mayfield shirt.
No. This is Tim's shirt. It was hanging on his cubicle all week last week at work. All week.
That's awesome.
You know how Tim lives in his spheres. This was sort of his negative anti-juju.
He does live in his spheres.
And you think if they lose to the Bears, it's not going to be bad? That was just the Brown stuff.
Well, hey, Tim, since you brought that up, the Bear and Steeler will be meeting for the 28th time this Monday night.
Yes.
Would you care to know what that all-time record is?
It doesn't count. It doesn't count when there was like 4 teams in the league when the Bears were like back in the 30s.
No, the Steeler wasn't even a team till the 40s, so you can't count that era.
They weren't a team to the 70s, so it doesn't really matter. So, but then again, the Bear were playing against 6 teams. It was like the original 6 in hockey. It was like you guys in New York and
as a
Green
practical
Bay.
matter, you're kind of right. There was the modern era of football, which started in 1969, which coincided with, as you guys recall, well, you probably don't recall because you weren't born yet, but I was 9 years old. I think the Steeler and the Bear had come off of like 1 in 10 seasons, and they were competing for the lottery pick, and the Steeler won, and they picked a man named Terry Bradshaw.
It's a good pick.
The rest is history.
The blonde bomber.
Yeah, and I don't know who the Bear got. It doesn't matter.
I may have not been born. I may have not been born if it wasn't for the blonde bomber.
That's true.
I thought you were born after a Pirate World Series victory.
It was both. It was a hell of a year.
That's true. City of Champions. There
you go. We are family.
That bear suit has to be 1,000 degrees.
Oh God, it's so hot. Bear down. All right. So that record, I believe, is 19-7-1, Tim.
It's 10, but I don't count that.
And even in the modern, so like the Bear dominated the Steeler until 1969 in I'll call it the pre-modern era. I think the Steeler only won like 3 or 4 times in a dozen tries.
They've won the last 3 years.
My father-in-law, rest his soul, born in Sharpsburg, born and bred, lived in Sharpsburg his whole life, just passed away, would tell me that every time the Bear and the Steeler played back in the day, the Bears would kick the living crap out of the Steeler. But I think everybody kicked the living crap out of the Steeler back then. In fact, how many championship games did the Steeler play in prior to 1969, Tim and TJ?
There was 4 teams in the league. This doesn't count.
So they had a 1 out of 4 chance. Dumb luck. They should have got in a championship game at least once.
Yeah, we don't count any of those. It doesn't count.
But so we'll give you old new NFL. But even in the modern era of the NFL, Tim, what's the Bear Steeler all-time record?
It's the Bears are probably winning
7-5. So
that's close. Okay. That's close.
But
hey,
what?
1985 is the only thing that matters to you. I have years. So I mean, it is what it is.
All right, you want to go championships? How many championships? How many championships do the Bear have?
1, 1985. That's it.
The Bear have 9, and the Steeler have 6.
See, but it can't be true until you merge the AFC and the NFC. Till both leagues came together, it just doesn't count.
So the Bear have 1 and the Steeler have 6. What's your point, TJ?
That's it. You proved it perfectly, Mark. You proved it perfectly. So I did like the whole thing talking about the best. Like we were talking about, obviously the Bears have got a great linebacker tradition. I heard a story, and I don't know if this is true or not, but when we had Mean Joe Green as a rookie, one of the first things he did is he went out there and it was between plays, and he went out and he got into Dick Butkus's face, picked him up and spit a big old loogie in his face. And he said, I'm here, and threw him down. I don't know if that's true or not. In Pittsburgh, that's folklore right now. We put that over our doorposts of every house. It's just It's the way that it is.
Well, fortunately they didn't play against each other, right? They were both on D. So, but if they did, it might have been one hell of a brawl because
it'd be great.
Plus, because back then back then it was dirty play. I mean, those guys in the, and it's probably like that way when you guys are playing at Gateway too. You're in the scrum, you're in the ground. Guys are pushing their thumb in your eyeball, spitting at you, trying to push your face in the muddy, wet ground, which is for Pittsburgh most of the time when you're playing in the fall, because it's always raining and muddy and ucky there, right?
It is. It's nasty.
I mean, my high school team had like 3 wins in like, I don't know, 4 years. My brother, maybe they didn't do that to us because they just felt bad for us because they beat us all the time. My brother, they may have done that stuff when my brother played. No, they were nice to us.
Well, that's actually a question that's been on my mind for a long time, because I know you guys have both had storied careers out of Gateway.
We do. We do.
Stud athletes. Tim, you were quarterback. TJ, what was your key position? You played both ways, I know, but what was your number one?
I did. I was a running back, and I was a kick returner in 10th grade, and I was also an outside linebacker. Ooh. So I made my early career. I was a kick returner early on, and then I touched the ball a lot. And then the difference between Tim's teams and my teams in 3 years of high school play for me, we lost. We didn't lose any regular season games. I lost 2 playoff games, 2 games just in 3 years.
It's big steroid.
You probably had a good quarterback then, huh?
We did. We had a great. Actually, my quarterback got drafted. He went to Penn State and got drafted by the Redskins. Now, Tim, who was your quarterback?
Big steroid era. Big steroid era. Big steroid era.
So they were getting shots in the butt at school. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what my brother's team was doing. I swear, that's what happened. That was the folklore.
My two like tackles, they both went to Pitt on full rides. Tim, how big was your line?
No comment. I'm not answering these ridiculous questions.
All right, let me ask you this: of the two of you, who's the better athlete?
Me. Me.
Yeah, right.
Me. That's not even come on.
We call that fake news. That's fake news.
All right. Well, there's only one way to settle it. We're going to have a Yinzer Brother broadcast. Maybe after the year, you guys are going to have to do like a special Yinzer Brother combined podcast where each of you do feats of skill, and we can make our own determination.
What is our feats of skill? Like getting off the couch?
Great idea.
Well, you guys figure. I mean, run.
I like that,
let's see
Mark.
who could run fit. Who could do a squat?
I like that. That's a great idea, Mark.
I think all TJ has to do is one, and he wins that one easy.
Pretty close. Well, Tim, his parts are bad. He's only got one good. Which good arm do you have left?
I don't want to answer any of these questions. This is the next question.
Right. I have another question that's been burning my mind since I've been listening to the Yinzer podcast. Yeah. So, why did you torment Tim so badly as a kid that all he does is live in his fear his whole adult life?
Well, to know Tim and to understand this, you have to know our father. God rest his soul.
I know him vicariously through stories, but
you probably know him vicariously through my younger brother Tim. They had similar traits. Now Tim is not my father, but as far as living in your fears, that you grabbed that from the big guy.
All right,
I'm not gonna lie. Not as bad. Tom was
not as bad.
Very head casey, but yeah. I have certain qualities. I mean, it is what it is.
Certain qualities. You live 24/7 in your fears, Tim.
Yeah.
Your fear right now is that Tomlin's going to blow the game on Sunday, and you're going to owe me lunch. Because Tim and I have a standing bet anytime Pittsburgh and Chicago play, which is like every 3 or 4 years. But then we also have our ongoing Pitt Notre Dame bet. And Tim, it's mostly for football and basketball, but Tim, after losing many lunches, wanted to extend it to like women's basketball, women's volleyball,
TJ, I witnessed this man. We were at a Notre Dame basketball men's versus Pitt's game, cheer against his own team so he didn't have to owe me lunch. It was unbelievable. We were there sitting in the stadium. I couldn't believe it.
It's true.
Dressed in all Notre Dame. He's cheering against his team.
I have to admit that was totally true.
Now, I'm trying to get Tim to get a Notre Dame nutcracker to counteract the Steeler nutcracker. But he's too cheap. He's too cheap to buy a nutcracker. I don't understand. He's too cheap.
I think he might have got one as a gift. I think you only got one as a gift last year, TJ.
I have
a
been
little elf might have dropped one at his front door.
To bring this up. It has been in my headspace for the past 2 weeks.
It has.
I'm waiting for that Nutcracker to come out. I don't know when it's going to come out. So I got about
Thanksgiving weekend for the rest of the year.
I got about 3 weeks of happiness before all hell breaks loose in my life with that Nutcracker. He gets in my head. Like I have visions of him at night going, there goes my season.
Well, you better win this. You better win on Monday then.
But I will say this, Mark. You weren't here earlier. To me, this game screams Tomlin game. Screams it. Just screams it.
I hope not, because I've got a lot of money. I got a lot of money riding on the Steeler winning the AFC Championship this year. You talked me into it. You said this is going to be Ben's last and best year. He's going to go out a winner.
Could be.
So TJ.
I think it's the last podcast we're going to have to do. We're done. This is it. There's no more podcast.
Well, we got to ask the weekly question. How many throws does Big Ben have left in his legs?
It is his legs. That's the problem. He looks bad. I mean, if you see him, I think right now he's ranked 28th in the league with his QB percentage. Or his QB number, 28th in the league. If he's got to stay at 25 throws a game, or we're done. He's not going to finish.
Well, what's the over under on throws then this week? I think 35 over under this week.
My brother said under.
I think you're close. I'm going to say under. If it's over, we're in trouble. Now, if it's under, that means that Najee. I think this week Najee is going to go for over 100. I think they're going to be committed to the run. I think they can. If Mac is out. I think they can run the ball.
Neck is out, and I don't know. If Hakeem is in, he's been banged up with a groin the last month, and he's been playing like half speed. And he's usually pretty good against the run, bottles up the middle. With he and Mac, usually pretty stout. But little fact: the Bear had 21 QB sacks leading up to 2 weeks ago. They've had 0 in the last 2 weeks, with Nix being hurt and Mac also being hurt. So, that might be good for Ben to throw 35 times, because I don't think they're going to put much pressure on him. So he could just sit back there and be Ben.
I see what you're doing with your Jedi mind tricks. Stop it. Just stop it.
I mean,
just stop it.
He's got four great receivers. Maybe your best Notre Dame player, Claypool, can catch a touchdown this week.
He is a stud. He's a stud.
He is a stud. Mapletron.
That's right. He's a stud. And by the way, you're right. Bettis is the best running back we've ever had from Notre Dame.
Yeah,
by far. He's a good Irish boy. That Jerome Bettis.
Okay, I'm not going there. So what do you guys? So we both have teams that, the Bear are in another rebuilding stage. We got the guy that was supposed to be like the wizard came over from Kansas City.
I called him a cabbage patch earlier.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Is he back this week? Because he had the cocoa last week, so he was out. They wouldn't let him coach. Which actually, Fields had a better day without Nagy coaching last week.
Mark, he's back.
So, But that actually kind of ties in nicely, Tim, to one of the other little known Steeler Bear facts. So talk about the modern era and the
that thing looks like it's 1,000 degrees.
Oh God, I'm going to take it off. In fact, it's coming off.
There you go.
I'm going to put my Jerome Bettis signed hat on.
See, now that look right there, you look like Jim McMahon, like back in '85, coming off one. All you need is the Roselle headband. You got the fur coat. You look great. You look great. Look at that terrible towel. Look at that.
That's my dead mother-in-law's original terrible towel.
Oh my goodness.
Myron told her to dye a towel all gold, so she did. That's it.
This is all part of it. This is what happens. It's the mush is it's full effect.
You see that?
Oh, mush.
No, look at that. He's got look at that.
I got the old 4. This is when they only had 4.
Yeah,
Super
that was
Bowl.
that
So
was
it could've
back
been
in
a
the
life
day.
point.
It's
Yeah.
the mush is just in full effect right now.
This is
it's
so
great.
much into Tim's head. It's
It
great.
is.
It is. It is.
Anyway,
So while we're here, we'll get into some predictions. I mean, it's good having the Bear fan on, good having the Steeler fan on, or Steeler fan. So let's let the independent. We'll let you go last because no, I'll go last. You go second. Like, cause whatever you say, I got to put some other mush in the air to reverse your mush to make sure we're not getting mushed. So TJ, what are you thinking? Who is your player of the game for offense when it comes to this game?
I think. Well, I got to ask Mark one more question.
Oh,
before we
don't do
this.
it. Don't
Just
you
one more
dare
question.
do
Just one more
it.
question. Do you think Fields is the guy?
so I think that the Bear have had something like 25 quarterbacks since 1969.
Cordell Stewart pretty good.
And of the 25, he's one of the better ones. But we've had some good ones, promising. I mean, Vince Evans. I mean, let's face it, Grossman coming out of college,
Yeah.
with Florida, he was highly sought. Cutler had a rocket arm. He was MVP. MVP.
You notice how I didn't say. You notice I didn't say Rick Meyer. You notice how he said that Notre Dame guy, Rick Meyer.
We also shared some quarterbacks in the day, right? Jim Miller, Bear, and Cordell.
Yeah. How about Bubby Brister?
Bubby, yeah, we shared some, but I would say that Fields, I think I was happy with the pick. I thought he was good for where the Bears picked him. I think the dude's got great athletic skills. He comes from a winning program, albeit Ohio State. We don't like Ohio State, but good program.
I wish we had more of those players on our team.
And I'm great. And he's got great legs. He's kind of cut out of like Kyler Murray, a smaller version of Lamar Jackson there in Jacksonville, and Cam Newton, smaller version. I think for what the Bear need, where they've got a really kind of rebuilding weak O-line, you need a guy that can move around. And I don't know if you saw that run last week. He ran for 22 yards on a broken play, reverse field, made a couple nice cuts. I think he's a nice player.
Let's be real. You know as well as I do. He's going to get hit by a bus crossing Michigan Avenue because of Chicago luck.
No. He's going to get hit by Cam Hayward, and he might not get up. That'll be if he survives the rest of the year without an injury, I'll be amazed because the Bear line is that bad. And so I think that in true Bear fashion, they got a guy who's pretty good. They'll run his rookie contract out. They'll not want to pay him. He'll be kind of mediocre. They'll trade him, and he's going to have a super career in his next life. Maybe in Pittsburgh.
Hey,
you could when you get number 12 next year, he's got 2 years left, and then Fields will be ready to come on over and run the game.
I love that play. Is he vaccinated now? Can we just get him vaccinated real quick so we get rid of all this mess? What's he using? Essential oils? What's he doing?
My only thing, that whole thing is, I don't care if Aaron Rodgers is not vaccinated. I mean, all that does is only thing he loses in my eyes, he can't be the logo now. I had to give something up. Other than that, he's fine. I'm good with him.
Tim. What just surprises me is you've had man love for Big Ben. He gave you 2 Super Bowls?
He did.
27,000 yards of passing.
Yeah.
Many games of joy. And you're talking like he's dead. And he's still your guy. He's still your guy.
He's pretty
your
dead.
Captain. And you're talking like he's dead.
He's pretty dead. He's pretty dead. If we didn't have Najee, we'd be in the big to do.
Yeah. Well, that's probably true, but I mean, is that really any way to respect your elders?
I respect him, but I respect a lot of elders. He's dead, but I respect a lot of elders that are dead. He's. You'll see. I mean, you'll see. You'll get a good view of him Monday night. You'll be like, "Whoa, he's a statue. He's what he is."
Oh, no kidding. Well, talking about the game then, neither team really has a downfield attack. The Steelers, because of Ben's limitation, because of the bad wheels. The Bear, because they have no O-line and their quarterback can't get more than like 2.2 seconds to throw the ball, and he's young. And so I think Tomlin's going to scheme them up pretty good, right? Tomlin usually schools rookie QBs. Mm-hmm. So even though Fields is good, he might make some plays, some broken plays, get in the secondary. he's not going to have a whole lot of good looks. He's not going to have a whole lot of time, in my opinion, to throw the ball. And by the same token, Ben will have all the time in the world, but he can't get the ball more than 10 yards down the field. So the Bear can just sort of, play that game, and they can let Mapletron and Juju sort of go deep and not have to worry about it. Really,
Juju's dead.
Oh, that's right. He's dead. No, I think the key to the game for the Steelers is paddle hands.
Yeah,
I mean, really. Here's the guy
this is where this starts. This whole mush crap starts. Paddle hands. It's
going to be a game. It's going to be a game of tight ends. Which tight end catches the most balls and more yards after catch?
It all circles back. It all circles back to Notre Dame. Just because the Bears have a Notre Dame tight end, they see if we haven't seen this circle.
I was thinking Jimmy Graham, but now that you brought it up, yeah, Cole Kmet's pretty good too.
Pat Freiermuth. So TJ, who's your player of the game for offense for the Steelers?
I think it's Pat Freiermuth. I think he's got at least 2 TDs. I think I think he proved that he's a weapon, and I think Mark's right. He's that 10 to 15 yard weapon that he's going to hit right in the center of the field all day long.
Yeah.
So Mark, I'm assuming that you got to be cheering for the Bear, right? I mean, is that
unfortunately, I was born in Chicago.
Yes.
I'm committed. But fortunately, I married into a Steeler family, so I do have a backup on this game, and I do have a lot of money on the Steelers stuff the rest of the year.
Let's get this.
I won't be sad if the Steeler wins.
Let's get this from a Bear perspective. If the Bears somehow win this game, if this is a Tomlin game, which to me it screams in my brain Tomlin game, who is your Bear offensive player that has to do anything, breathe?
Montgomery. When Montgomery runs well, when he rushes for 100 yards.
Is he playing?
I think so. He played last week.
No, he didn't. You didn't watch the Bears?
I try not to waste my time on Sundays. I think it was not freezing, and I played golf, so I just saw the highlights.
Montgomery didn't play last week. I know he came off IR. I don't think he's playing this week. So you want to pick the other running back.
Then they're going to get some guy in a suit like this running through the Steeler line. Turn him off. Get out of the way.
Guys going to be Gus from McKees Rocks dressed in a Bears uniform, Bears outfit, running fullback.
So Fields will probably be the leading rusher for the Bear then. And if he can rush 100 yards, I think the Bear got a shot. I think that the Bear D is not going to put pressure on Ben, so he will have time to throw. I think the Bears kind of been a bend not break defense, so I think Najee will get his runs. But when you get to predict, I don't think this is going to be a big scoring game. I might be wrong, but I think this is going to be like 18-13, something like that. I think we're going to go at least half a game without any score on either side. And I haven't now. I have to ask Tim, what's the forecast in the Berg for Sunday?
Probably
I hope it's gonna. Yeah, well, it's gonna rain and be windy and wet,
and gray,
and they're gonna Pitt's playing.
Sadness.
Is Pitt playing Saturday on Heinz Field?
I think they're away. I don't know where they're at. I gave up.
We don't talk about Pitt anymore. We don't talk about Pitt anymore.
Right. But they'll have some like WPIL games, so the field will be
probably
nice and trash.
Probably
like kickoff. Yeah, right.
I think from an offensive standpoint, myself, I think it's going to be a game where Steelers are going to start out slow, but I think come third, fourth quarter, I think Najee's going to take control of the game, and he's just going to run down the Bears' throat. And that's how it's going to sulk the game away. Defensively, I'll go with my pick for the Steelers. I don't think there is anybody on the Bears' offensive line that can block T.J. Watt. So I think he's going to have 2 sacks, maybe even 3.
That's a good call.
Can you see
that?
He
disappeared. What is it? What's it say?
34.
I cannot see it.
34. And I don't mean Walter Payton.
You don't mean Walter Payton. He's coming back. We're in trouble.
You're 34. Not my 34.
Here's the weather. Oh gosh, not our 34. Sweet Lord. That's bad. So here's the weather. Pittsburgh.
He may be the Bear player of the game.
He might be. He may be the Bear. So Monday night, 63 and sunny.
Oh my God. That's not Bear Steeler weather.
No,
it screams it screams Tomlin game. It screams even the weather being nice. So who do you think, TJ? Who do you think on the defensive side is going to be a force for the this game.
You know what? I think they're going to spend so much attention on Watt. I think Watt's going to get a couple, but I think Highsmith's going to get a couple too. I think they're going to pinch these guys. I was so impressed with how the Steeler front guys, their front seven, how they boxed in the Cleveland rushing attack. I just think they do well too against running quarterbacks. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, they take out Lamar Jackson. I think they're going to be okay. So I'm going to say Highsmith. Highsmith's going to ring the bell.
Mark,
Well,
do you have a defensive guy for the Bear?
I got.
Do you know what defensive guy?
I got a co.
Artie Burns?
Artie Burns. Artie Burns. And so I think that Eddie Jackson has a chance to get a couple picks on Ben. You know, he'll be strong. Roquan always plays a good game, but you know, without his guys up front, you know, I think he could get doubled and they could run some traps on him and kind of keep him out of the plays and let Najee have a little space to run. So I'm going to say Eddie Jackson.
Okay.
And if he gets if he gets a couple picks on Ben, you know, we might have a shot at winning this game.
I'll be driving to your house and throwing dirty diapers at your garage if that's the case.
Why all the hate?
I hate it. He lives in his fears, Mark.
I do. I terribly live in my fears. So let's go with final scores. We'll go the big guy first. Got to teach.
I'm going to say I kind of lean toward where Mark's at, but I'm going to say this. I think the final score is going to be. I think the Steelers put up 24 because I saw Boswell is back. He's out of concussion protocol, so I'm going to say 24-10 Steelers.
18-13.
I love it. That's a good old AFC, like back 1974. You know, that's more like a 67.
There might be one team might get a safety.
So was it 18-13 Bear or 18-13 Steeler?
No, Steeler. Home field. Home field's worth at least 3 points, Tim.
That's true.
That's true. So I thought about this.
Heinz Field, which is an awful home field. Only worse than the Bear home field. Both home. That's the one thing. Our kickers are used to kicking on shitty fields.
They are.
So I think I give the kickers even.
Yeah.
I thought a lot about this game, man. This game has been haunting me for weeks right now.
Haunting you, huh?
It has been because I've just been thinking about how life will be for me if somehow the Bear win this game. It'll be bad, very bad.
Well, you're gonna buy me dinner, Morton's.
As long as you're dressed, good one. As long as you're dressed in that Bear outfit, I'll buy you whatever you want.
This thing is way too hot.
To me, like I said, I was telling earlier in the podcast, I thought the Cincinnati game was a Tomlin game. This screams Tomlin game, but I think the Bears are so beat up right now, and the rookie quarterback. I think next week's going to be the letdown game for the Steelers against Detroit. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Ooh.
So I think the Steelers are going to destroy the Bears. I think this game's going to be over at halftime. I wouldn't be shocked if Ben Roethlisberger's pulled in the third quarter. Najee Harris may have 200 yards rushing. We're going to run the ball down the Bears' throat, destroy them, send them back to Chicago. They can go jump in Lake Michigan, take their rookie quarterback, and take the rest of that god-awful fan base, and they can jump in Lake Michigan. Steelers 31-3.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Look at I like that. He's covered. He's hedging his bets. I like that. He's hedging his bets.
31-3. All right.
No, I know it's gonna happen. I'm fourth quarter again. I'm gonna be going, what the hell is happening? And it's gonna be a field goal game by Boz to win it. Probably.
That could be. It could be. I mean, both our kickers are pretty good on shitty fields. So, you know, if it comes down to the kicking game, I think we're both covered. So I have a question, Tim.
Yes.
When you see your first text from me at 7 a.m. on Sunday, because this is the day before the game.
Yes.
Are you going to start living in your fears?
I'm already living in my fears. It's Friday night.
That's true.
I'm shook. I mean, I went past, I saw a couple, my neighbor has a Bear flag up. I was like, this is, I think he just has the Pittsburgh stuff around his house just to play with my noggin.
Tim does.
It's my Jerome Bettis autograph.
There you go. I love that.
Yeah.
He'll start. Tim will start sending me tweets and stuff like that. And he'll start sending me the worst tweets. Probably starting tomorrow. Of there's no way we're going to win this game. This guy's lost. This guy lost his tibula. This guy has got he's anorexic. He'll start sending me all this crap, and it's like by the time we get there, he'll be psyched out.
If the Coco goes through the Steeler this weekend, he's going to blame me.
You're right. He will.
That is the wild card. The Coco could show up on your door anytime.
That's true.
So I have a question.
Our team's vaccinated.
Yinzer Brothers. Are we ever going to see Tuitt play in a Steeler uniform ever again?
Why don't you tell me? He's got Notre Dame blood running all through him. I'm beginning to wonder about these Notre Dame players.
Well, let me ask you. Do you think this is an after effect of him having the Coco last year? Because I recall, he had the Coco, he came back, but he was sort of struggling. So do you think it's like a long-term Coco effect or
I don't know. Maybe you guys Notre Dame got it. Maybe Notre Dame guys got to toughen up, just get an inhaler, get some new lungs, do something. I think he had truthfully, from what I hear, I think he had a knee surgery that was a little bit more serious than people are leading on to. That's what I think is happening. But I think, truthfully, for what I'm hearing maybe sometime in December.
Just in time for that playoff run. That would be good.
Which I'm okay with.
You put him there with Cam. Cam's been having an outstanding year for the Steeler again.
But realistically, Tuitt can't get through 8 games anyway, so that should just be perfect right on his trajectory.
You just need him to be there to beat the Ravens a couple times.
That's it.
That's it.
No, I agree. I think if we don't see him by December, he's done. I don't think we see him again. I think he's done
for the career. Over.
Yeah, I think he's done for the Steelers. I think he goes somewhere else. Hey, I can't tell yet if he's kind of lost the desire to play. If he's like a DeCastro, when DeCastro he was done. He lost the desire to play. I don't know. I can't figure it out. He doesn't look like he's setting anything on fire to get back. So I don't know.
He needs to pick him up and put him down. Pick him up and put him down.
Put him down. Put him down. Put him down.
That's right. Exactly. All right. Well, Mark, thank you for joining us for the Yinzer Bros. This was a great time. And maybe we can work out to have you back for our follow-up show, regardless of the victory or whatever happens. I think that would be fun. So that'll be next week. Let's hope it's victorious for us. Again, I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim. We're here with Mark as well. We're
One
the
last
Yinzer
question
Bros.
though. What do we know? What the spread is? Do we know what the spread is? Because Tim and I bet it's always on the spread.
No, you made that up. You made that up.
6.5, right?
You made that up.
Tim,
it's straight up.
6.5.
Nope. Straight up.
6.5.
Straight up. Straight up.
No, not straight up. It's never straight up with you. I get
Whatever
the line is Monday, 6 p.m. That's our bet.
This is on camera. It's straight up. Look at you in that bear outfit. My God.
Straight up. I have no offensive line. I got a rookie quarterback. I got a dumb coach. Come on.
It's not my problem.
Give me the points. You got home field. At least 3.5.
Mark, don't live in your fears.
Wait a minute. This is from the guy who just predicted. What was it, TJ? 31-3?
31-3, I heard, yeah.
Well, I don't think the Bear getting 28, so why don't you give me the spread, Tim?
It's all for the show.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me.
Good to have you with us, Mark.
Hopefully it's a good game and we don't fall asleep in the fourth quarter because it's like 12-10.
Yeah, that would stink.
That would suck.
Again, if you like what you hear, pass along the podcast to your friends, your family, your enemies, whoever it is. Again, we're the Yinzer Bros. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
Still number 1 out here, right?
We'll see you guys. See you next week.